Hello children, how are you? I hope you all are doing good. Children, today I am going to narrate a very interesting story, A Day in the Greens. Hedy was awakened early next morning by a loud whistle. Opening her eyes, she saw her little bed and the hay beside her bathed in golden sunlight. For a short while, she didn't know where she was. But when she heard her grandfather's deep voice outside, she recollected everything. She remembered how she had come up the mountain the day before and left old Ursula, her caretaker, who was always shivering with cold, and sat near the stove all day. Shivering means kaapna. While Hedy lived with Ursula, she had always been obliged to remain in the house where the old woman could see her. Being deaf, Ursula was afraid to let Hedy go outdoor, and the child had often sat in the narrow room and had longed to run outside. Sulked means उदास रहना, क्योंकि उसको बाहर नहीं जाने दे रही थी उर्सुला. वो डेफ थी और डरती थी, तो इसलिए वो उसको बाहर नहीं जाने देती थी. तो वो बहुत उदास थी अपने छोटे से रूम में और उसकी इच्छा थी कि वो बाहर जाए. She was therefore delighted to find herself in her new home and hardly could wait to see the goats again. Jumping out of bed, she put on her few things and in a short time went down the ladder and ran outside. Peter was already there with his flock waiting for Chevenly and Barley, whom her grandfather was just bringing to join the other goats. क्योंकि उर्सुला उसको कहीं जाने नहीं देती थी, तो इसलिए माउंटेन में आकर के वो बहुत खुश हो गई थी. वो सब कुछ भूल गई थी और जल्दी से उसने क्या किया, बेड से अपने आप को जंप किया और थोड़ी देर में सीढ़ियों से वो नीचे बाहर दौड़ गई. वहाँ पीटर उसका वेट कर रहा था, जहाँ वो शेषमाली और बर्ली इन दोनों गोट को अदर गोट के साथ ज्वाइन करने के लिए वो इंतज़ार कर रहा था. Do you want to go with him to the pastures? asked grandfather. Pastures are green grassland, जहाँ animals grazing के लिए जाते हैं. तो grandfather ने क्या पूछा कि क्या तुम जाना चाहते हो वहाँ? Yes, cried Hedy, clapping her hands. उसने agree कर लिया. Go now and wash yourself first, for the sun will laugh at you if he sees how dirty you are. Everything is ready there for you, he added, pointing to a large tub of water that stood in the sun. Hedy did as she was told and washed and rubbed herself till her cheeks were glowing. Hedy ने क्या किया? जैसे उसे कहा गया था, नहाने के लिए गई, उसने अच्छे से रब किया, तब तक रब करती गई जब तक उसके चीक्स चमकने नहीं लगे. In the meanwhile, grandfather called to Peter to come into the hut and bring his bag along. The boy followed the old man, who commanded him to open the bag, in which he carried his scanty dinner. Scanty means small, thoda sa. Grandfather put into the bag a piece of bread and a slice of cheese that were easily twice as large as those the boy had in the bag himself. जितना उसकी बैग में था उससे ज़्यादा ही था, उससे डबल था. ग्रैंडफादर ने ब्रेड का पीस और चीज़ का स्लाइस उसके उसमें रख दिया. The little bowl goes into, said he, for the child doesn't know how to drink straight from the goat. The way you do. She is going to stay with you all day. Therefore, milk 2 bowls full for her dinner. Take care to see that she doesn't fall over the rocks. डू यू हेयर? क्या वार्न किया उन्होंने उस बॉय को, पीटर को, कि उसका ध्यान रखना, उसके लिए 2 balls मिल्क के भी रखना, और उसका ध्यान रखना कि कहीं वो रॉक से नीचे ना गिर जाए. Just then, Hedy came running in. Grandfather, can the sun still laugh at me? She asked. क्या कहा उसने कि ग्रैंडफादर, क्या सन अभी भी मुझ पे हंसेगा? The child had rubbed herself so violently with the coarse towel which the grandfather had put beside the tub that her face, neck and arms were as red as a lobster. वो कोर्स टॉवल से जब उसने अपने आप को रब किया तो उसका फेस, नेक, आर्म्स बिल्कुल ऐसे रेड हो गए थे जैसे कि लॉबस्टर होती है. With a smile, grandfather said, "No, he can't laugh anymore now. But when you come home tonight, you must go into the tub like a fish." जब आओ तो फिश की तरह से तुम्हें पानी में, टब में जाना है. When one goes about like the goats, one gets dirty feet. Be off. जब कोई गोट्स के लिए जाता है तो उसके जो फीट होते हैं वो कैसे होते हैं? बहुत डर्टी हो जाते हैं. हेडी एंड पीटर started merrily up the Alps. A cloudless, deep blue sky looked down on them. The wind had driven away every little cloud in the night. The fresh green mountainside was bathed in brilliant sunlight, and many blue and yellow flowers had opened. Hedy was wild with joy and ran from side to side. In one place, she saw big patches of fine red primroses. On another spot, blue gentian sparkled in the grass, and everywhere the golden rock roses were nodding to her. In her transport at finding such treasure, Hedy even forgot Peter and his goats. She ran far ahead of him and then straight away off to one side. The sparkling flowers tempted her here and there. Tempted करना means ललचाना. Picking whole bunches of them to take home with her, she put them all into her little apron. वहाँ की ब्यूटी देख करके हेडी सब कुछ भूल गई कि पीटर उसके साथ में है, गोट्स उसके साथ में है. उसने क्या किया? जल्दी से जो स्पार्कलिंग फ्लावर्स उसको दिखाई दे रहे थे, जो ललचा रहे थे उसको अपनी तरफ, उसने उनको तोड़ा और अपने एप्रोन में उनको भरना शुरू कर दिया. पीटर, whose round eyes could only move about slowly, had a hard time looking out for her. The goats were even worse, and only by shouting and whistling, especially by swinging his rod, could he drive them together. पीटर ने बहुत लंबे टाइम से उसको नहीं देखा था. गोट्स की कंडीशन भी खराब हो रही थी. अब वो उनको किस तरीके से चला रहा था? अपनी जो रॉड थी उसको झुलाते हुए वो उनको आगे निकाल रहा था. हेडी, where are you now? He called quite angrily. उसने गुस्से में पूछा, हेडी कहाँ हो तुम? Here, it sounded from somewhere. Peter couldn't see her, for she was sitting on the ground behind a little mound, which was covered with fragrant flowers. The whole air was filled with their perfume, and the child drew it in long breaths. जहाँ से उसने आवाज़ लगाई पीटर उसे नहीं देख पाया. वहाँ चारों तरफ से खुशबूदार फूल भरे हुए थे और पूरी हवा खुशबू से महक रही थी. फॉलो मी नाउ, पीटर कॉल्ड आउट. मुझे फॉलो करो, उसने उसको कहा. ग्रैंडफादर हैज टोल्ड मी टू लुक आउट फॉर यू एंड यू मस्ट नॉट फॉल ओवर द रॉक्स. ग्रैंडफादर ने मुझे तुम्हें देखने के लिए कहा है और चट्टान से नीचे मत गिरना. वेयर आर द गोट्स? आस्क हेडी without even stirring. Way up there, and we have still far to go. If you come quickly, we may see the eagle there and hear him shake. क्या कहा उसने कि जल्दी आओ, हमें बहुत दूर जाना है. हमें क्या दिखाई देगा यहाँ से? ईगल दिखाई देगा जिसकी केवल हमें चीख सुनाई देगी. That tempted Hedy, and she came running to Peter with her apron full of flowers. You have enough now, he declared. If you pick them up all today, there won't be any left tomorrow. Hedy admitted that she had her apron already full. From now on, she stayed at Peter's side. The goats, scenting the pungent herbs, also hurried up without delay. अब हेडी को भी समझ में आ गया था कि देर हो रही है. उसका एप्रॉन भी जो है फ्लावर से भरा हुआ था, तो उसने जल्दी से पीटर की साइड में जो है सोचा कि अब मैं पीटर की तरफ से अब मैं इसके साथ चल देती हूँ. गोट्स भी जो है जल्दी से बिना देर किए हुए उसका पीछा उनके साथ पहुँच गई. पीटर जनरली टुक his quarters for the day at the foot of a high cliff, which seemed to reach far up into the sky. Overhanging rocks on one side made it dangerous, so that grandfather was wise to warn Peter. जो रॉक साइड थी वो डेंजरस दिखाई दे रही थी, तो पीटर को क्या लगा कि ग्रैंडफादर ने ठीक कहा था. उन्होंने उसको वार्न किया था कि चट्टान से नीचे मत गिरना. After they had reached their destination, the boy took off his bag, putting it in a little hollow in the ground. The wind often blew in violent gush up there, and Peter didn't want to lose his precious load. Precious, कीमती. Precious means कीमती. जो precious things उसके पास थी वो उनको खोना नहीं चाहता था. Then he lay down in the sunny grass, for he was very tired. बहुत थक गया था वो. Hedy, taking off her apron, rolled it tightly together and put it beside Peter's back. Then, sitting down beside the boy, she looked about her. Far down, she saw the glistening valley. A large field of snow rose high in front of her. Hedy sat at a long time without stirring, with Peter asleep by her side and the goats climbing about between the bushes. पीटर भी सो गया था और हेडी भी वहाँ पर जो है क्या कर रही थी, वहाँ पर उसके साथ में वो बैठ गई थी और वहाँ से उसने मूव नहीं किया. A light breeze fanned her cheek, and those big mountains about her made her feel happy as never before. She looked up at the mountain tops till they all seemed to have faces, and soon they were familiar to her like old friends. Suddenly, she heard a loud, sharp scream, and looking up, she beheld the largest bird she had ever seen flying above her. With outspread wings, he flew in large circles over Hedy's head. एक लार्ज बर्ड उसको दिखाई दी तभी, जिसको देख करके वो चिल्लाई. उसके बड़े बड़े पंख थे और वहाँ पर वो उड़ रही थी. Wake up, Peter, Hedy called. Look up, Peter, and see the eagle there. Peter was wide awake, and then they both watched the bird breathlessly. It rose higher and higher into the skies till it disappeared, and at last behind the mountain's peak. उसको तब तक देखते रहे जब तक वो माउंटेन पीक के पीछे से गायब नहीं हो गई. Where has it gone? Hedy asked. Home to its nest was Peter's answer. कहाँ गई थी? अपने घर, जहाँ उसका घोंसला है. Oh, does it really live way up there? How wonderful that must be. But tell me, why does it scream so loud? Hedy asked. Because it has two, Peter replied. उसने उसको पूछा, इतनी जोर से वो क्यों चिल्लाई थी? क्योंकि उसको चिल्लाना था, पीटर ने आंसर किया. Oh, let's climb up there and see its nest, pleaded Hedy. But Peter, expressing a decided disapproval in his voice, answered, oh dear, Not even goats could climb up there. Grandfather has told me not to let you fall down the rocks, so we can't go. क्या कहा कि गोट भी जो है उसके वहाँ नहीं चढ़ सकती हैं, और ग्रैंडफादर ने भी हमें वार्न किया है कि चट्टान से नीचे मत गिरना, तो हमें जाना पड़ेगा. But now began to call loudly and to whistle, and soon all the goats had assembled on the green field. Assembled, gathered होना, एकत्रित होना. Hedy ran into their midst, for she loved to see them leaping and playing about, while Peter in the meantime was preparing dinner for Hedy and himself. जो goats थीं वो ग्रीन फील्ड के बीच में से उन्होंने भागना शुरू किया, वहाँ इकट्ठा भी और भागना शुरू किया. उनके बीच में हेडी भी भागने लगी, क्योंकि उसको बड़ा अच्छा लगता था जिस तरीके से वो जंप मारती थी और खेलती थी. मेन टाइम पीटर ऑल्सो प्रिपेयर्ड डिनर फॉर हेडी एंड हिमसेल्फ. सो बच्चों, देखा आपने कैसे पीटर ने हेडी को लुक आफ्टर किया. उसने अपने ग्रैंडफादर की बात को माना और कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं होने दिया जिससे उसको नुकसान होता. तो हमें अपने से बड़ों की बात को मानना चाहिए. आई होप यू हैव एंजॉयड द स्टोरी. नाउ इट्स टाइम टू रिवाइज. यू कैन रिवाइज इट.